All right, you're jacked into a very special Buffy's Angels where we talk about a crossover episode, but not just any crossover episode, just crossing over in them flashbacks. Very interesting stuff. All right. Uh I'm Daniel Ehrenberg. I've watched them all. Watched these episodes a lot. I haven't watched them back to back in a long time though, so that was kind of fun. Um, all right, let's bring in Logan. Be a dare watching for the first time. What's up, buddy?
I thought about doing that thing that I did with Manhunter and Silence of the Lambs, where I went back and tried to find the best two episode chunk we've had, but you can make a case. It's right here. I thought these were both
Wow.
really great. I don't know that off the
Yeah.
top of my head, but
I think it might be the best two episode chunk since we've started Angel.
oh, okay. So you think we might have gotten two Buffys back to
I
back?
think we might have gotten two Buffys back to back at some point that could rival or top this. But
This was
in
great.
terms of one Buffy, one Angel, hard to top this.
But we'll get into it all. Hope you guys are excited.
Yeah, Fool for Love and Darla. Those are the two episodes this week. They aired November 14th, 2000. All right. You know what else aired that night? The pilot episode of Dag. Is that exciting for you?
I don't know what that is, so no.
All right, Dag. Well, let me tell you something. Dag. It was a sitcom. Uh, based on a comedy personality. All right, it's like a vehicle for a comedian. All right. So who in your mind do you think is Dag?
Uh, Dave,
D
Dave
D
Allen
A. Oh
Capel.
oh, you're so close.
Oh, really?
DAG, Dag. Who could it be?
I don't know.
You got David Allen right. How is that possible? You can't
Wait, are
get
you
the last
serious?
name. Yes.
David Allen Greer?
Boom.
Oh, hell yeah. That's still
Oh,
stupid of me.
I was so blown away by David Allen Chappelle that I thought you'd get it right away.
Yeah, honestly. That's
Oh
amazing.
my God. Imagine that. Dak, a crossover. All right. Um, the number one song in America at this point in life was Independent Women Part One by Destiny's Child.
I don't know it. How's part two?
No, no, you know it. It was throw your hands up at me. All the honeys making
Okay.
monies.
I've
Yeah.
told you I'm really bad with song titles.
Oh, that's a ridiculous song title. I feel like I thought that at the time. Like, really, we're calling this shit part one? Why?
Is there a part two?
Yeah, I think it's like later on that same record.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like Love in This Club part two. Nobody talks about it, but it exists.
Right. It's
Yeah.
exactly right.
there you go. All right. So big album releases that day. The biggest one, of course, was Beatles One, which played incessantly at every job I've ever had for my entire life.
Yeah.
They just put that record on it. The Beatles had 27 number one singles, Logan, and they managed to fit them all on a single disc.
I
All
was
right.
wondering what that title meant. That's really
Yeah.
cool, actually.
Yeah. So you pop that
What
on
a
in a
flex.
restaurant or something. You don't have to think about the music for the next 90 minutes. You're good.
Is that the most number one hits?
No, I feel like it's been topped by a couple people. I want to say Elvis. I want to say I want to say um
Nobody today.
Mariah Carey. I want to say
Mariah
Mariah Carey.
Carey.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
I know. I know. But there have been a couple that have rivaled the
I
Beatles.
saw recently that Chris Brown is the only singer to be like the top charting artist at least once for 20 years in a row. I think I saw something like that recently.
Yeah, I think I read that
That's
at
pretty
some
impressive.
point. Listen to this fun fact though. Who are the only three artists in music history to have number one hits in four different decades?
Madonna's got to be one.
That's one of them.
The Beatles, I don't know how
Nope.
long they were around.
They only existed for like 9 years. So
What about when they were solo? Like Paul McCartney's had big songs. Remember that one with Rihanna?
yeah, but he didn't have them in four straight decades. Yeah, I've tried to 4, 5 seconds.
That was a good one. Is that
Dude.
Kanye too?
Yeah. You
That's
got
the
a
outro. We
Nazi in
already got
there.
it.
Help it out. No, please don't include Kanye on this
As we got
podcast.
far. All right, that's fair.
Yeah. I hate they play one of his songs. Is it Gold Digger? You know, one of his
Yeah,
hits. They play at my job, and I'm already like, he's just like 1 year ago he was praising Hitler. Can we stop playing him
that is a good song though. She
for
ain't
5
nothing but a
seconds?
gold digger.
Oh well, yeah, yeah, that's a classic. Um, all right. Also that same day as Beatles One, they released an album by The Offspring called Conspiracy of One, and I was
Well,
wondering
you didn't
whether
tell me
it's
who the four in the 4 decades were. Be it Madonna, who else?
Madonna, Michael Jackson, and Weird
Yeah.
Al Yankovic.
Oh, it was only three. I thought there was four.
Yeah,
That's
isn't that wild?
amazing.
Isn't that wild that Weird Al's in there?
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a fun fact for you.
that is fun.
Um, all right. Conspiracy of One by The Offspring came out that day too. I bought that album the day it came out. That's the only reason I bring it up. Okay. And I
Yeah.
will say that's the last Offspring album I ever bought. It was sort of like not that good. And I was like, I think I'm good after this one.
Wow.
All
I'm sorry.
right. But it's okay. You know, to be honest, my girlfriend loves The Offspring, and I've heard some of their later stuff since moving out here, and it's not bad. All right.
I don't think I even know them.
Oh, they were a good band back then. You don't
That
know,
doesn't
like
ring a bell.
pretty fly for a white guy.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, that's them.
All right.
All right. Um, so top five movies in America. I thought this was an interesting list this week.
Hmm.
Number one, still Charlie's Angels hanging in there. All right. I think maybe Independent Women number one was in Charlie's Angels. That they might be coinciding.
All right. Okay.
All right. All right, number two, debuting at number two, and this was a disappointment at the time because this movie cost a lot, and the star of this movie, his movies, all of them had been debuting at number one. So this was a disappointing number two for Little Nicky.
I knew you were gonna say an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Little Nicky's
That
good.
was one of his first real failures. I like Little Nicky too, but it costs a shit ton of money to make. Like it has really like you watch that movie,
Yeah, it's
there's a
crazy.
lot of special effects,
Oh yeah,
and they look
absolutely.
pretty good.
Yeah. That's a really unique movie. I mean, I feel like it's
Yeah.
like other movies, but it's really weird.
Yeah, I mean, Hitler like shoves a pineapple up no, what is it? Satan shoves a pineapple up Hitler's ass.
That's right. That's right.
And at one point Kevin Nealon does he get boobs on his head?
Yeah, that's right too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Quentin
fun.
Tarantino is a blind guy.
Yeah, he
Remember
falls
that?
down some subway stairs at one point. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Debuting at number three, an Oscar hopeful this year, but it didn't pan out that way. Men of Honor. Okay, now that's like a I guess like a Navy movie. I think they're in the Navy with Robert Downey. No, not Robert. Robert fucking De Niro and Cuba Gooding Jr. That's why I was thinking Junior. All right.
Oh,
And you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, like he's gonna figure out he's a racist halfway through. I don't know.
what?
It's not a very good movie. Men of
Okay.
Honor. Let me let me see if I can pull up my review of it real quick because I remember I watched it a couple years ago.
Oh, he's the first African American U.S. Navy diver, it
There you
says.
go.
That's
There
pretty
you
cool.
go.
So it's like
My
a true
review is
story.
not interesting. Yeah, it is a true story. It's pretty saptastic though.
Yeah.
All right. And number four is Meet the Parents still hanging in there. It's been out for like ever at this point. And number five, Red Planet, which I'd forgotten that movie existed. Okay. And that's Val Kilmer on Mars. Okay. And if we want to have fun one week, Logan, we can do an episode of what's that show we used to do?
And twins?
And Twins. Yeah, because that was the year of competing Mars movies, neither of which made any money. Red Planet with Val Kilmer and Mission to Mars with Gary Sinise, directed by Brian De Palma.
I've never seen either one. I've never seen any film with the word Mars in the title. Mars Attacks, never seen it.
What
Naming
about
any
the
others, never
the the
seen it.
Martian?
Yeah, I thought you might say that, but then I was like, no, he's not that stupid to try to say that. But
Because
then
he
you
said
did.
specifically Mars in the title. Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
But Mars Shin is a little bit like that.
I
So
guess so.
you can kind of get away with it. I
Thanks.
did see that one.
Okay. Yeah, no, Mission to Mars. That's worth watching, man.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll save it for the podcast.
Okay, great. Um, let's talk about Buffy.
Please.
Okay. Fool for Love and Darla. All right. These episodes were broken separately. Then they realized, like, oh, we got two flashback episodes the same week. Let's connect them.
They
And so
probably planned Angel first, like the
they
Darla thing, right?
they
Because of the
actually planned Buffy first, but they filmed Angel first so that they'd like the
the
Boxer
footage
Rebellion.
of
Yeah,
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 the
yeah.
Boxer Rebellion scenes in Buffy were filmed by Tim Minear on the set of Angel.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's not what I thought. I thought they would have had the idea for the Darla thing because of the Angel episode, and then they reverse
Mm,
engineered it. But okay.
there you go. No, this Spike episode was in the offing. They were working on it for a while. It had an original title. It was called Love's Bitch. But they didn't want him to have the word bitch in the title. I guess you have to
Loves
put in the TV
biatch. Why didn't they
guide.
do that?
Well, Love's Bitch was a reference to a line in Lover's Walk, one of your favorite episodes, where Spike says, I maybe love's bitch, but at least I'm man enough to admit it.
Yeah.
And but they had to change it to Fool for Love, which is the title of a play, which was later made into a mediocre film by, I think, Robert Altman. Okay.
Okay.
Um, let's talk about Douglas Petrie wrote it. I just talked about him like 2 weeks ago because he wrote No Place Like Home. I told you they've been giving him a lot of these episodes where you have to like fit in a bunch of plot. He's good at that. I feel
Yeah.
like this is almost a similar remit. Like you have to write like one half of a crossover and like make it your own, and he's able to do that too. He's really tremendous TV writer. Um, yeah, he wrote like The Initiative, and he wrote like, his first episode ever, I think, is Revelations, the one with remember the fake British female watcher
Yeah.
for
Gwendolyn
Faith?
Post.
Yeah, Gwendolyn Post. Good memory. Jesus
Thanks.
Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his first episode, Doug Petrie.
Is that like right? It's either like right before. I think it's like right after Faith, Hope, and Trick. It's somewhere around there. I think. Or
It's a
maybe that's just
couple
in my
episodes
ranking.
later. Yeah, that's the first Faith episode, and this is like an early Faith episode.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so he's our writer. Our director is Nick Mark. Nick Mark is a guy who this is his second episode of Buffy, but he'll be a regular through the end. He directs a bunch in the fifth, sixth, and seventh seasons. His first one was Something Blue in season 4, and I guess they liked
Is
that
that where
enough
they got?
to.
They were like kind of together, or was that Pangs? I get those
It
two
was
confused.
well, yeah, yeah. No, that was the one where they were like had a spell on them to think they wanted to get married.
So he's really good with at this relationship, kind of.
Evidently, yeah. Maybe that's why they called him back for this because
Yeah, it
he
seems like
like
it.
handled chemistry between them well.
Yeah.
Um, all right. He also, I think I mentioned this when we did Something Blue, but we covered him on the podcast once because he directed National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2,
Mm-hmm.
Cousin
Curly's
Eddie's
gold.
Adventure or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Um, and all right, now we can talk about the episode, which I'm happy to do. Logan, screw your notes.
First of all, a little IMDb thing.
Wow.
This is the highest rating in 19 episodes. Do you want to guess the last one to be higher than this?
Hush.
Hush. And that's the highest one of the whole series.
Hmm.
So, but that's crazy.
Is
I don't
it the
know.
high? It can't. It's not the highest rated of season 5 though. I could think of at least 2 episodes that definitely got higher than this.
This is only a 9.1, so it's not like super duper high. We've had lots of like 9.3s, 9.4s and stuff.
Hmm.
But but I thought that was fun.
Yeah,
So Fool for Love. All right. No
I'm ready.
Terra. No Terra in the by the way, I feel like we had like a no Terra sandwich. We had like no Terra in the opening of the Magic Box, and then we had a huge Terra episode, and then no
Yeah,
Terra again.
I think it's crazy to not have Tara in the episode right after Family. That
I
is
agree.
an odd choice to me.
I missed her, I have to say. Like I was watching, I was like, Terra's where like she wasn't even
I
at
kind
the
of did.
cemetery with
Yeah,
them. I didn't
to me,
understand.
to me, after Family, in my mind, all right, now she's a permanent part of the fucking gang. All right, so she's got to be in that cemetery stuff with Anya and Willow.
It doesn't make sense why she wasn't.
It doesn't, except that they need. Well, they used Tara a lot this year, especially in the second half of the season. So maybe they just have like a certain episode, a certain amount of episodes they can pay her without making her
Yeah,
a regular, and so they have to come up with ones not to use her in.
that's possible.
That's
But I
the
feel
only
like
thing I could think of. But to me, you need her in this one.
No, what you said makes sense. But Anya, I feel like Anya doesn't say a single thing in this episode. Like, why couldn't
That's a
Tara have
good
done the same
point.
thing?
Because Anya's a regular. She's getting paid for this episode regardless of how you use her.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So
Might as well pop her on screen.
I agree. I love to see her. So Buffy, by the way, I never brought this up, but Tooth Fairy, the first Tooth Fairy I think of is Darkness Falls when we talked about Manhunter.
Yeah, Emma Caulfield's Tooth
Emma
Hunter.
Caulfield. Yeah.
Tooth
Yeah.
Fairy. What did I say? Tooth Hunter? I'm
No, no, no.
combining Manhunter.
No, no, no. I think I just said them both close together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm on 3 hours
I
sleep, gang.
understand. All right, so
Yeah.
Buffy loses a fight. She ends up getting staked by a vampire. Vampire like reverses a move on her, hits
Yeah.
her.
It's a punk rock vampire, which I
It is.
like. And
Later on, Spike's a punk rock vampire in the subway. He's
well,
like a
that's
punk
true.
type
He's
guy.
always been a punk vampire.
No, but this
Um,
was like very clearly what they're going
oh
for.
yeah, he's fully 1977 punk in that scene, yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
awesome.
I'll tell you what, uh I always remember this cold open because it's so short. I feel like it's one of the shortest cold opens
That's
in the
true.
history of the show.
Well, this is also memorable. It's like the first time she'd ever lost a battle, so
It's
there's
like
also that.
20 seconds. Like they throw a couple punches at each other. She says like one quip and then
I
she's
thought it was well
stabbed, and that's the
choreographed.
cold open. No, it is good.
And I like
And
when
I
she
like
pulled out the stake, you hear the
Yeah,
It's
and I
cool.
think it's good because it's a nest of vampires later that you can they made the one really easy to pick out because he's a punk rock vampire.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah,
And what was Riley doing? Riley shows up and he scares him off. Riley was just like patrolling himself.
I guess so, yeah.
All right. So Riley takes her home and fixes her up, and Dawn has a nice cover for them, right? Where she
I
says that
liked that. I
it
thought
was
Don
so
was
sweet.
slick in this moment.
Absolutely. She says the alcohol is for like her fingernail polish.
Yeah.
And so Buffy comes up with a plan. I think Riley says he's gonna go patrol, and then Buffy says to bring everybody, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. And so Buffy, she's worried because she just lost a battle. So she wants to do a bunch of research about how the other Slayers died. What happened? What caused it? Why did they lose? Right. So her and
Hmm.
Giles do lots of research on that. And but they can't really find it, right? Because Giles
Out in the
says,
open in the middle of the store, as you like to point out.
yeah. I didn't even realize, I don't think. The Giles says that basically they didn't even write down what happened because they got too sad, but that seems crazy.
it
They don't
it
even
is
finish their job because they were too bummed out.
it's a crazy explanation, but I like the moment. It's a
I do
sweet moment
too.
between Giles and Buffy, but it's fair to wonder that.
Like this is their job. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
But
and I feel
yeah,
like not every watcher is supposed to be as paternal as Giles.
yeah, I kind of had that thought too. Because
Yeah,
yeah, this makes this a little less special if they're all
yeah,
this way.
kind of.
Yeah, let's not think
Unless he
about it.
doesn't want her reading about that stuff and he's covering.
Oh, that's weird.
That'd be
Are you saying
possible.
that because that's a spoiler?
No, 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 no.
Giles is an evil
I'm
guy.
not a. No, that wouldn't be evil. I think that he's trying to maybe protect her.
Oh, okay. But I feel
Mhm.
like it'd be good to know.
I kind of agree with you, but I don't know. I don't know where Giles is at
Yeah,
right
it
now.
was weird, but it was a nice moment from Giles. It's like his only moment in the whole entire episode. But they
Pretty much,
realize,
yeah. It's such a Spike heavy episode.
yeah, spoiler on the MVP. I'm gonna go with Spike this episode.
Yeah, me too.
But they realize somebody's been around to see some Slayers die, so we're gonna go ask him. Him being Spike.
Yeah, that's right. He's killed two Slayers. That's canon.
I didn't know. I feel like some of the stuff I was like, did I forget where he got the name Spike because of like that railroad Spike thing? Did I forget that, or is that new to me?
The railroad spike thing is just something they read in a book in the first episode that Spike appears in. All right. So like that's established as part of his continuity, but now we're learning here that he got the name Spike. He gave himself that name. All right.
Right.
Like that, he didn't earn that name. His name was William the Bloody, which is also referenced in that same episode as something they read, but it's presented as like that's a scary name, William the Bloody. But here we learn it's because of his bloody awful poetry.
But I thought
in sort
bloody
of a
for a
weird line
nickname.
reading.
I thought bloody as a nickname for that is really weird. Because bloody as a nickname could be bloody, bloody good driver. Like bloody
Yeah.
could mean literally anything.
Logan, I've had that thought for 25 years of my life. I've lived with it every day, and I've learned to accept it.
All right, I guess I will too. But I was like, seriously? All right.
No, listen, yeah, everything you're reacting to is correct.
But so we get Spike, we bribe him, we give him some money, but that's not enough for Spike. He wants the buffalo wings.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Hang out in the bronze. A lot of bronze this season.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's very cool. Because she moved back home. She's a lot closer to it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That is why.
And she's like, Spike, you're so annoying. Have you always been this annoying? And he's like, I've always been bad. And then we cut back, and he's a big
Yeah.
nerd.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
he
what a
looked pretty different,
Poindexter.
James
What?
Marsters. Like he looked kind of like a different guy with
With
his
the
whole.
different hair and shit.
Yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
think so.
What a chameleon.
Maybe it was a good acting. He was kind of making himself meek. He was like putting his shoulder, like scrunching his shoulders, making himself smaller. He was doing a really good job. But yeah, he likes this girl Cecily,
Cecily, yeah. That's
but
her name.
and
It's
he reads
London,
her
not 1880.
London 1880. That's right. Yeah, I wrote them all down, all the
Yeah,
things.
me too.
And he likes her. He reads her a poem, but she doesn't really like him. She says something that Buffy says later on. I didn't really write it down till later when Buffy said it,
You're
but she
beneath
says you're
me.
beneath me. Yeah, that's pretty sad. And so he runs off.
She's really, really harsh to him.
Yeah, so that seems like a crazy thing to say to
Yeah.
somebody, honestly. Can
This
you
is a
imagine saying that
character.
to somebody? That's crazy.
Yeah. This is a character we maybe haven't seen the last of.
Oh, really? That's cool. I like that.
Excuse me.
And so he runs off all sad into the night, and who finds him sitting by himself?
But did you see? Did but Logan, but Logan, but on the way to that scene, he runs. He's like all upset and he's ripping up his poetry. Okay, and there's three people walking arm in arm on the street, and he pushes his way through them. He's like, "God damn it, move!" And then he keeps moving. But then Logan, in the Angel episode, Darla, we see that scene from the other perspective. And who were those three people? Darla, Drusilla, and Angel. Okay, and Drusilla, that's how she sees him for the first time and finds him here.
That's right. Yes.
Did you catch that?
I did, yes.
Oh, I thought I
Yes.
was telling you something, but still,
No,
that's
no.
pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I love all the stuff with the things that especially the things that make more sense with Angel, like the stuff where Angel's all pissed about because
Right.
that family and everything.
Yeah, you find out like when he got a soul in
That
this
was cooler to me than
episode.
this, where he just like bumped into him.
All right, well, I'm just saying,
It was cool.
but
It was cool.
you see, he bumped into some people, and then on the Angel episode, you know who the people are.
Right. I guess I didn't know here that was that, but I don't know.
Pretty cool.
So I guess what you're saying is right.
All
Uh,
right.
but so Drusilla finds him, comforts him, or whatever. I don't know. But we go back. Riley, they're in the graveyard.
Comforts
Riley,
him, fucking kills him.
do we see her bite him in this moment?
Yeah,
I
don't
thought she's
we?
just like being nice to
Oh,
him, and you assume what's gonna happen.
I mean, is that no? You definitely see Drusilla bite Spike in this episode.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that happens right there.
And
Drusilla
because
killed
he
Spike.
goes, I like Marster's performance in that moment because he starts out going, ow,
Oh
ow,
yes, yes,
ow,
yes,
ow, ow. It's really
yes.
good.
I agree. That was good. But Riley, he's being all secret initiative boy, right? Being in the graveyard. But then Xander's just eating his potato chips. They're all
Yeah.
being loud, being like, Riley, what are you doing? So that
It's
was
pretty
fun.
funny. It's a good bit.
Yeah, it's all
It
right.
you know what it reminds me a lot of is the gang at the beginning of season 3 in the episode Anne, where like Buffy's still in Los Angeles and they're like trying to patrol by themselves, and Xander's calling himself Nighthawk. Remember that? All
No,
right, no. All right, just straight no.
I'm sorry. I
The
don't.
beginning of season 3, before Buffy comes back, you like see them patrolling together, like Oz, Willow, Xander, and Giles, I guess. And you see
Or Buffy.
no,
Oswald, Xander, Buffy.
I told you, Buffy's in Los Angeles at this point.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
why they're
Oh, yeah. Oh,
patrolling
it's when she's
along.
gone. Yes, yes, yes. I
Yeah,
do remember that.
yeah, there you go.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It reminded me of the moment in Jurassic Park 3 where they land on the island and Taya Leone like runs off into the woods and they have like a big bullhorn and they're like screaming at her to come back, but they're like, be quiet, but they're like screaming with the bullhorn. He says, be quiet. I thought that was pretty funny.
Wow.
That's a
Yeah,
great film. That part was written by Alexander Payne, probably.
yeah. The ability to recall specific scenes from Jurassic Park 3 is an amazing talent you have.
Bro, that's a great movie. I
I
really
can
don't
only
understand that opinion. I think that one's really good. So that's like a 90-minute, you get in, you get out, meet some
It just
dinosaurs,
sucks. The only things I
you
remember
meet
about
Billy.
that movie are when Billy is a raptor, when Alan's dreaming on the plane,
Yeah.
and when the pteranodon appears out of the mist.
I knew you were
Those are
gonna
the
say
only
that.
those are the only moments. Oh, and when you hear the cell phone ring inside of the dinosaur. That is
That's the
so
exact ringtone.
stupid.
That's gonna be the outro, just that ringtone on a 2-minute loop.
That's so lame.
No, that's the best movie. Anyway, so we go to
Is that our next
1880.
commentary track?
I would love it. We can
Okay.
skip. We did Jurassic Park 1. We can skip 2. No, let's do 2.
Should we do two?
I don't know.
Talk about gymnastics and stuff.
Julianne Moore again.
Yeah.
All right, Yorkshire or Yorkshire, however you say that word. 1880.
Yeah. This is William becoming Spike.
They're kind of like a team now. They're hanging out in mine shafts, and it's because Spike, he gets a little out of control. He likes to like cause problems and draw attention to them, right? So they have to hide out in the little mine shaft.
Yeah. So he's not all about being a creature of the night like Angel is. It's interesting because then we see a scene in Darla of Angel talking to the Master, and Angel is almost echoing Spike in this scene. It's just interesting, like
Hmm.
the generations of vampirism reflect like the each generation becoming more liberal thing that happens in real life, like where
Yeah.
like the master is still like living in holes worshiping the old ones. Okay, Angel doesn't believe in that shit, but Angel still has like a healthy respect for like vampire tradition, whereas Spike just doesn't give a fuck.
I think it is also talking about how when you grow up and you become like the people you didn't want to become a little bit.
Absolutely, totally, yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. Um, so Angel tells Spike basically like if you keep going on the path you're going down, you're gonna run into a Slayer, and you're not gonna like that very much. And then we go back to the bronze, and Spike
And
says
he,
that's when he became obsessed with Slayers.
yeah, you see that moment where Spike goes like, "What's a Slayer?"
Yeah.
Like that's
Ooh,
really
what's
cool.
that? Yeah, that's really great. And he does this thing where he puts his little vamp face on and he says, "Vampires have to reach for their weapon. I've already got mine." But it does take a couple seconds to turn it on. So,
I guess so. Yeah, you
no.
have to do a little head shake thing,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
to add the special effect, kind of.
yeah,
Uh, China, 1900, right?
yeah. Boxer Rebellion.
Yes. We get a big fight, Spike versus this woman. Can I tell you the best part of this thing though?
Tell me.
When she dies and she says like, "Tell my mom I love her," and he's like, "I'm sorry, I don't speak Chinese." That's
Yeah.
so tragic. That's so sad.
Sorry, love. I don't speak Chinese. So he also gets his scar in the scene.
No, the thing on his eyebrow.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
You see her whack him in that spot with her sword, and he grabs it, and he that's where it is. That's the scar.
How do they make it look so similar every episode?
Because it's real. James Marsters got mugged in New York, and that's how he got that scar.
So they add a little eyebrow from him in the past.
No, that's his. What are you
Like
talking
when he's
about?
William the Bloody, does he have a normal
Oh, I
eyebrow?
see what you're saying. No. They filled it in for those scenes.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Oh,
Yeah,
that's really cool. I didn't know it.
yeah.
So so that's what happens. He kills a Slayer, and then Drusilla shows up, and she's like real turned on by it. So they end up having sex, right?
Yeah. They just like fuck on the rubble of the
She
Slayer
puts his finger
battle.
in her mouth. I remember that part.
Yeah, to taste the Slayer blood.
That's right. And they end up telling Angel and Darla. And Angel congratulates him, but he's clearly pretty pissed off. And you're like, what's going on there? He's just like, is he jealous of Spike? Is he like, I don't know. I didn't. You don't really understand, but
Yeah,
then later
I
it all makes
I
sense.
I remember the first time I watched this episode, I read it as jealousy. I was like,
Yes.
that's interesting that Angela at some point like had a little bit of like taste to kill a Slayer and
Yeah.
was upset that Spike did first. But no, it's really because he's got a soul at this point. He's had it for like 2 years, and he's just like pretending to be a fucking vampire.
We'll get into it a little more later. I have questions about that. But
Hmm.
so we walk off. I love this part. You know what I'm about to say?
Tell me.
They're all walking in unison, and Spike jumps off the little bucket.
Oh, of course. It's a shot so cool they had to use in both episodes.
Both episodes, they just take it. Well,
Yeah.
they take a lot of stuff for both
And
episodes.
I remember it was in the trailers for this week.
Oh wow, that is so cool. So we go back to the graveyard. What happened earlier was they left the vampires alone because they were in a crypt. There were like a bunch of them, so they're like, "Ah, we'll come back later. We don't want to bother them." So Riley comes back by himself, and he ends up killing that one guy, and then he kills the others with a grenade. He drops a grenade down in there, runs off.
Where'd he get that grenade?
I don't know, but I have a question. Would a grenade kill a vampire?
Well, yeah, I mean, a vampire can explode, right?
I have no idea. Like I thought only like three
Fire
things killed
kills
them.
fire kills a
Okay,
vampire.
that's
So
okay.
yeah.
No, you're right. So shout out Riley. This is a huge Riley episode, kind of like he's been like I'm such a weak guy the last few weeks, and here
Nobody
he's pretty
loves
badass.
me. Yeah. This week he's just sort of tearing ass. It's all right.
Which
Uh
which you could take as it's going to be good for his and Buffy's relationship, or you could take it as he's falling back in love with this and he wants to go join the initiative again.
I
So you
also
can kind
think
of
he's
take it
being
either
a
ways.
little bit on the self-destructive side. Like he could have come back in the morning and he chose not to. He came back by himself.
Yeah, that's clearly a choice. They do say we'll come back in the morning, and
And
then he
this is
comes back
only
later.
and this is only one episode after we saw him just like chilling in Willie's. You know? Like what's up with Riley?
Yeah, he's going through it.
Yeah.
And so back to the bronze. This is when Spike notices that she's got a little thing on her side, right? Like
Right,
she got
right. She's
wounded in battle.
injured. Yeah.
Yeah. And I sort of have some questions. He does the thing where he tries to hit her, and he says, I actually don't know if that's here a little later on, but he sort of gets into like the intent of it all. And
Yeah, he says that later outside.
I feel like that's kind of the opposite of what we thought, but I don't know. And
No,
I got,
it's the exact what I thought.
oh, is it? I can't remember, honestly. I couldn't remember what we said.
No, no. Josh said something different in a comment like maybe a week or two ago, and I said no. I think it has more to do with intent, and he says that specifically here.
Okay, so it is what we thought.
Yeah.
What I think he should do if he wants to kill Buffy is he should drive her somewhere and accidentally get into a car accident that kills her.
Oh, because he won't die in a car accident.
And it's an accident. It's not he didn't intend to let it happen. He just oops, we got hit by a big truck. I thought that was a good plan. And I also thought about why not have Harmony kill her, but it's the whole thing is he wants to do it. It's not that he wants her dead, it's he wants to kill her.
Exactly. Yeah. And
Yeah.
does he really want to kill her anymore at this point? Because I mean,
I mean, we get to the
gave,
end of the episode, clearly
he
no.
gave up pretty fast when he saw her crying.
And Harmony has a great line, I think, at one point where she's like, is it Harmony or it might be Drusilla in the past where she's like, you had opportunity. No, it's Harmony, I think. She's like, you've had opportunities before the chip to kill her and you didn't do it.
Right.
So why are you acting all tough now? I thought that was pretty. I think that's Harmony, yeah.
It was Harmony.
Yeah. And is this where he says like all Slayers have a death warrant? They all want to die? I'm forgetting what he says now and what he says later.
A death wish. Yeah.
Yeah, like Charles Bronson. But he says that she doesn't because she has like a family and stuff. But that
Mm.
Chinese woman had a mom. She said, "Tell my mom I love her."
Yeah, but he doesn't know that. He doesn't speak Chinese love.
Oh yeah, sorry. So 1977, New York. Spike
Yeah.
fights like a disco chick.
Well, yeah. It's sort of like a soul sister.
Okay, is that not the same thing? I guess not.
I guess it is. But whatever. Yeah, this is Nikki Wood. I don't know if we learned that here, but that's her name.
What the
Uh,
actor, the character?
the character.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's yeah, this is a cool fight scene.
Yeah, cool. And it's like cross cut between him and Buffy, like reenacting the scene also. Like Spike's like going through it with her.
And he's narrating it to Buffy, and we see him doing the narration in the past too. It's very cool.
Yeah, loved it. Loved all of this stuff.
Yeah, so
And
we're on
it,
a subway. It's a New York City subway. It looked like a six train to me, but I couldn't tell. In 1977.
yeah, and it's like a brutal death too. He snaps her neck, which is
Yeah, he,
crazy.
he sure does.
And then
And
steals her jacket.
exactly, steals her coat, and that's
It's the
his
one he's wearing at
coat.
the end of the
It's
episode.
it's the one he's been wearing since he showed up in Sunnydale.
But does he have it on every episode?
Yes.
No, sometimes he has on just like a black t-shirt.
Yeah, of course. But like when he's outside, he's got this coat on.
All right. Why is that a thing? They all have to have like a signature coat.
I don't know, dude. It's just like part of his look, you know. He wears a leather jacket, duster. But
Angel did the same thing though. Couldn't think of anything different.
well, he got it from a Slayer. I would
That's
think
cool.
Spike earned his.
Yeah. By the way, Angel gave. We haven't seen Buffy wear that jacket in a while. Is she just over Angel?
I think so. I honestly think that's why.
Yeah, that's sad. Or maybe she grew
Yeah.
out of it. Maybe what if we see Dawn in the jacket at one
Oh
point?
my God. That'd
Bro,
be
if I was
creepy,
writing the show, I
honestly.
would have a scene with Dawn in the jacket. That'd be priority number one. So he kills
Popping
her,
that
takes her
on.
jacket.
Yeah.
Bronze, back to the bronze. Spike, there's a lot of talking in this episode. Spike's telling Buffy, like, you want to dance. We've been dancing for this whole time, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And he tries to kiss her, and
He
she says,
does. I forgot that happened so quickly after like the he has that dream at the end of Out of My Mind episode 4, and I'd forgotten that he like makes a move on it so fast. Like it's only
he
three
has like two.
episodes later.
Well, he's been thinking about it every day since then, probably. It's tough. So this is when she throws the money down and says, "You're beneath me," and he cries, picking it up.
Yeah, he really
But then he
does.
gets
Shows some real
evil. He's like, "I'm gonna kill
emotion.
you, bitch." Right? Gives her
Well,
like
he
a death
doesn't
stare.
know, you know. He doesn't really react rationally here.
Yeah, I guess so. And so Spike goes home and he gets a fucking shotgun. I don't know why he has a shotgun, but he pulls out his shotgun, and that's when Harmony does the whole thing. I thought Harmony was good in this episode, actually.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she doesn't have much to do, but she's
Well, she kind
important
of
in her
does. She's
scenes.
on screen for like 2 whole minutes straight, like just talking, kind of. I don't know, maybe longer than that.
Oh, I guess while like Spike's freaking out and stuff.
Yeah, I thought she had like a lot of dialogue. I thought she
Yeah.
was good. But she tells him that like Buffy's gonna kick your ass or whatever, and we go back to South America, right?
Yeah, this is post season 2. So like
Yes, he's
this
met
is
Buffy. As we talk about here.
right. This is between his appearance in Becoming Part 2 at the end of season 2 and his next appearance in Lover's Walk in season 3.
Okay, so yeah, 1998, South America,
Mm-hmm.
and lots of talk about he's obsessed with the Slayer and stuff like that. And Drusilla has been cheating on Spike. I know this was the person that was mentioned previously, but I want to
Yeah.
say something. This is the deer boy that we've been like thinking about for so many weeks. We finally
Yeah.
met the deer boy,
Wow.
but I think he was like a chaos demon or something like that.
A chaos demon. Yeah, he's described in that episode Lover's Walk. Spike says they're all slime and antlers, and they indeed are. They nailed it.
They did nail it, yeah. I thought it
Yeah.
was a fun moment. When it happened, I was like, oh, it's paying off. This was something that I knew was coming, and now it's here. So that was pretty fun. And then we
Mm.
go back home, right? Joyce is packing up. She's gonna go stay at the hospital because something might be wrong still. Who
Yeah, yeah,
knows?
yeah. It's maybe a little more serious than we had initially thought.
Yeah. So who knows what's gonna happen there? And then Buffy goes outside. She's crying. She's worried about the future of her mom. What's gonna happen with mommy? And Spike shows up and he has a shotgun. And Buffy asks kind of a dumb question. She says, "What are you doing here?" He has a shotgun. I feel like he's there for a
Maybe
specific
he's
reason.
hunting.
I guess so. She's probably thinking, well, he can't hurt me, so why is he here? Maybe not
Yeah,
that dumb a question. Uh, but so yeah, Spike shows up and then he sits on the porch with her and he just sits with her and comforts her.
yeah. It's a
Love the
very sweet
camera
moment.
moving through the backyard. Thought that was cool.
Yeah, me too. It's very beautiful. Great
Great ending.
end shot.
The
It's a
show
five
has some of the
star
best
episode
endings.
of Buffy.
5-star episode of Buffy, you said?
Yeah.
I went with four only because I've given like 1 5 ever, and it was to Hush.
Yeah.
But I do rank this. I rank it 9, but it might be low. I rank it between Helpless and The Wish.
You have Helpless in your top 10.
I really like Helpless, you know?
Well, I do, but that just feels high.
All right, so I should put this above Helpless, between Innocence and Helpless.
Sure.
All right, so I have it eighth place. Well, let's
All
do our
right.
MVP first, actually.
It's
Um,
Spike.
Spike, LVP. I hate to do it, but I went with Anya. They didn't give her any lines. She does
That's
like act
good.
funny. She gives like a good she
A
like
good little
pushes
walk.
Xander. Good what? Walk?
Yeah, she has a funny walk.
I like when they're like moving and she like pushes Xander. She's like, "All right, Xander, lead the way." That was kind of fun. But I'm gonna go with
Yeah, she
Anya.
she's probably the LVP this week.
Yeah. Sorry. You can go Riley for being irrational a little bit.
Read me my list from the top down at this point.
Okay. Top down. Restless. That's your number one? Or is that a mistake by me?
No, that's number one.
Restless or Hush? Which one's number one?
Restless.
Oh, that just seems so crazy to me. Restless, Hush, becoming two, becoming one. Innocence, graduation day two, graduation day one. Passion, the wish, earshot. That's crazy high. Prophecy girl.
Okay. Yeah, you could put this between the wish and earshot.
Yeah, earshot should be in a different tier. Just kidding. I know you love that one.
Hmm.
All right, so listen, I had it 8, you had it 10,
Uh, yeah.
and you gave it a 5. I gave it a 4. I feel like I should really rethink the grades
Well,
I'm
you
giving
don't
these.
give anything to five, anything fives. Yeah.
Yeah, but after this season, I'll go back through it.